welcome back to Captain of Industry. This amazing game, we've already played it a few times, but now we have a new update, update 2, that comes with a map editor and many other things. If you want to know what is part of this update, I have actually already posted a video that's recapping, what was in update 1, what is in update 2, my thoughts about it and all of this. So check in the video description below. Today we just start a new let's play, and we're gonna start a new let's play on a custom map that I created for you all. So let's go, new game, and choose this Paris map. Here it is. This is actually, I tried to make a map of Paris. We have the Seine River in the middle over here, we have the two islands, right? Ile de la Cité is going to be over here, where you have, by the way, Notre Dame, right? This is where we're going to have a starting location. But as you can imagine, quickly we're gonna need to go somewhere else. Probably over here first, and then probably also on the other side. This is not gonna be an easy one, and in particular because we're also going to change some of the difficulty settings. We're gonna stay in Captain because I think a lot of you are playing in Captain, and so I want to play in a similar level so that you see what you're supposed to do. But in the mechanics over here, this is something new. We're going to make a lot of changes. We're gonna keep the tutorial for sure, but we want to also go in what I call full realism. So our people will die if there's no food, Our people and our vehicle can't move if there's no fuel, right? And let's go even further, right? Like if there's not enough maintenance, everything is gonna get broken. And last but not least, a completely new one too is when you're digging into the ground, usually you're gonna get multiple things, right? Like you may dig some coal, but you're going to also get maybe some soil and some rocks. So you're getting mixed material into your trucks, and that means you're gonna have to go first to an ore sorting factory before you can do anything. So that's definitely an important one. Now, by the way, clicking over here, you can even customize everything else. You can go for each of those elements. So for example, you want your vehicle to stop working when they're out of fuel, but you don't want the ship to do that. We can do this. And we can also even change it later on. So I think that's enough. Let's dive in. We're going to call this map Christophe. Thank you, Christophe, for all of your support for the channel, and launch the game. And while this is happening, let me also show you something else. It is that now we have a community hub, an official place, for all of the blueprints, all of the maps, and in the future even mods. And what I want to show is that I have put, of course, this Paris map over here. So at the moment I am recording, this is right at the bottom because I just put it there, so nobody has downloaded it or anything like this. Don't hesitate to download it so that you can play along with me. Also, I would love if you can give it a comment or a like so that it goes a bit higher into the list and people can find it, because I think it's a great one. So it is, we are in the game now. Before we dive into the actual game, I do want to show you what I mean by a Paris map. Pressing F11, I can go a lot further and you can see the whole map. It's quite a big one, by the way. But yeah, here it is. We have started over here. This is Ile de la Cité. Next to it, we have Ile Saint-Louis. Right? If you know Paris, these are the two islands. In the middle, it's the Seine River. And then we have, Paris, the actual city, on both sides of the river. Now, of course, the actual, dimensions and things like this are a bit different. For example, the river over here is not as big in general, but I didn't really have a choice, because if you have played before Captain of Industry, you know that we need basically here this to be green, otherwise it's not gonna work. Basically, you can't start the map. So I had to make sure that this was full of water. But in the future, we could start also moving this over here and then close this up. Now again, if you don't believe me, let me show you this actual map of Paris that shows very clearly the river over here, the two islands that are pretty small, of course, but you may also see that in the past there was a lot of marsh land all around the river, so you could say that this was all river. And then there was, and there is still, by the way, a lot of small mountains all over Paris. It's not flat. There is definitely a small number of hills and mountains. And so that's the idea that I was playing with and that I started to put into practice. We have a couple of mountains. Of course, I also had to make sure that we have enough resources to get started over here. So we have a bit of copper, a bit of iron, and a bit of coal in particular. Right, that's very important. But yeah, let's dive in. I hope you're excited with this custom map. It's gonna be a challenge for sure. We need, as I said, to go as quickly as possible over here. So we're gonna build a bridge. We have also the tutorial over here to help us. And if you've never played Captain of Industry, don't worry, I'm going to explain it all along the way. I'm also going to create new blueprints and things like this, so you'll get access to all of this along the way. And by the way, if you are a YouTube member of the channel, you will get access directly to a couple of episodes, so don't hesitate to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna follow the tutorial, but again, I'm also going to share a lot of things. So over here, we have a city. It's a level 1 city, it's not very advanced, right? Settlement, we have 90 people and we have space for 140. We're gonna want to expand that pretty quickly, and we don't have a lot of space, so we're definitely gonna have to cut some trees. To cut some trees, you press H, and with this, you can select which trees to cut. I think we're gonna start there for sure, as I said, make sure we have a bit of space. So that's the first thing, and now right away we have over here a tree harvester that's starting. And this tree harvester, we should also give it 2 trucks to transport some of those trees back into our city. I mean, right now it will go into the shipyard, that's really the only place, or it could go into our first building. Let's go. Our first building is over here. All of the buildings are at the bottom. Don't hesitate also to tell me in the comments below if you have any questions, about the UI or anything like this. It's pretty simple, right? We have the key things at the top, like how many people, how many workers, meaning people that don't have a job, right, that are available, how many trucks we have. We're gonna be able to increase that, of course, in the future. We are in year 1, we're already in May, June. Oh, it's going fast. You can press space to pause it. You can press 1, 2, 3 to go into fast, right? We have a resource over here on the right. We're going to be able to also decide to add more resource in the future to this bar. For example, let's put electronics, that's an important one. But yeah, let's build our first building. They're here at the bottom. The first one we're going to want is coal maker. It's going to burn 18 of wood to make some coal and some exhaust. Exhaust is like pollution, right? It's not great, but at this moment we don't really have a choice. So let's go. We have the grid, right? That can help a lot. There's also a lot of these. We'll talk about it in the future to try to make things even better. But here it is. We have a building. We're gonna need a smokestack for the smoke to go somewhere. So let's do this. It is our first building. Magnificent. The start of an empire. And this is, by the way, the first mission. Build a coal maker and connect it to a smokestack. Now we're gonna want to also build some blast furnace, or 1 blast furnace, and some metal caster. So this is basically the second one that you see over here. This is going to take some scrap and some coal to make some molten iron and some exhaust. So let's go. We're gonna make it a bit more over here. And then we're gonna want some metal caster. Let me place them quickly and then we can talk about what I'm doing. So we're gonna do here. Press C to copy and put a second one. Now you may be wondering why I put 2. Well, this is producing 24, right? This is only using 12. So 12 times 2, 24. Here it is. Not so complex. Then we're gonna want to connect those things, right? There is, in this case over here, we can transport the wood with a truck. Here, this is molten iron. You can't really transport that with a truck, right? So a good thing that we already have in our transport some molten channel. This is basically like a conveyor belt, but for molten products. So let's go. We can click on it over here, or you can click there as you want. And done. It is connected. The last thing remaining is we need to make sure to have something for the exhaust to come out, a smokestack basically, because otherwise the exhaust is going to accumulate there, and when it's full, it's gonna stop everything, right? So that's not good, and we can see the problem is there. So it's a great notification to have. So let's go. Let's put an exhaust, and that should be fine. Okay, we have built this. Then we want to start researching. So we actually need a research center in, where is it already? In buildings over here. Now this is going to take some people, some electricity, and even some unity, a resource we haven't talked about yet. We're going to only build 1 right now. You could build 2, but we don't really need to at this point. So that is done. I mean, they're going to do it, and when they do it, we can also start research. We have finished the first tutorial step. That's great. With this, we get a couple of resources. definitely take them. We're gonna want to do 2 research over here, and we're gonna want to also build waste collection. So here it is, waste collection. It's a building that needs to be connected to your population area. So I'm thinking over here somewhere. Yeah, there. We have another one that's already connected. That's your food market. This is where your potatoes are being delivered to your people. They want to eat. Remember, if they don't eat, they starve, they die. That's not great. But in the future, the great thing is we're going to get a lot of types of food, and they're going to get quite complex. So that will be for the future. First, let's click over here into research. Right? We have a couple of things that are researched by default, like the iron smelter. Right, that's what we've been using now. We have the settlement waste, that's what I just talked about, and the pipe. But we have a lot more that needs to be researched. So you can click over here to research one, or what you can also do, by the way, is you can click on the more advanced one. It's gonna tell you to make bricks production. In this case, you need to have done all of these there. So if I click on this one, it's gonna automatically put all of these into the queue, which I think is a really cool, quality of life. I do want this one too, and then I'll want that one. So of course that's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some time for all of it to be done. We're gonna see it moving here slowly but surely when we get electricity actually. So for this, we need a diesel generator. In power over here, obviously we're gonna get a lot of different types of power in the future. And you can see here, right, the power signal. So in the future we'll get more, but that's a good start, to have one over here. By the way, I can also use my Unity if I want to build this automatically, so I don't have to deliver the resources. Right now I do have quite a few trucks that are not very busy, so I think it's totally fine. So we're done with this one. We need a waste, right? We have built this. So now slowly but surely the waste is growing. This is also when, your people who are going to eat and things like this, they're going to create waste. So this is slowly but surely growing. When it gets full, that's a problem. So we need to do something with it. We can dump it somewhere. We can do things with it in the future, not yet, unfortunately. And more importantly, we can dump it to make a bridge. So that's what we're gonna do over here. When I press Z to go into this, I'm gonna press F to be flat, and I'm gonna try to make a bridge. It feels like this is the closest place. Yeah. So let's try to make a bridge over here. Let's go. So I'm gonna make a bridge like this. Also there. You can see it's not flat at all. I'm making my life complex in this series. Nothing is flat. But yeah, we're going to try to make something, a bridge with this waste. So let's give it a second to arrive. By the way, it's great that you see where it's going. You can click over here to also tell him to go somewhere specific. But now it's delivering the waste, right? This is disappearing, and this is basically coming here, right? You can see it slowly but surely. It's being dumped. Of course, it's also going to go into the sea at some point, which is not great for pollution. But at this point, don't really have a choice. So one more is done. Basic farming, right? Slowly but surely it's being research, construction, trading dock. That's gonna take a minute. So we have done everything that is very basic now, right? The only thing I do want to mention too is over here I said this is iron, scrap and coal. You may be wondering, where is that coal coming? Well, it's from here, right? I told you. But the scrap, this is coming from this abandoned communication tower. We have over here a bit more than 790, slowly but surely decreasing, right? So at some point we're gonna need to get our scrap or iron from somewhere else, right? This is basically to help you get started. To do this, we're going to have to mine, right? This is mining those mountains over here, for example. The good thing that I'm seeing is, it's slowly but surely cutting trees. So I'm happy with this. I've now moved to speed 3, so we can soon have, the farming done. While this is being done, let me show you quickly what's happening over here. One is health, right? How healthy our people are. So you get a base health, then you can get more health when they have, for example, more food or when they get medication, etc. And then you get negative health for things mostly like pollution or illness. So we see our air pollution, for example, is already -1. We have to be careful with this for sure. Then next to it, we have the unity. Unity is a very important resource. Think of it a bit as like money, to be honest, because it's something that's going to enable us to do nice contracts, to exchange resources. It enables us also to do things more quickly, as I said, like build, for example, a new building that you already have the resources for. You can use Unity to build it instantaneously. So it's like you give some money, you know, to make it go faster. Or later on, we're also going to unlock the captain office, in which you can have edicts, policies if you wish, right? Policies where we can, again, basically give Unity in exchange for something, or almost like take Unity, so consume in exchange for something else. So we'll see that when this is happening. In the meantime, we've already done 2 research, the training farm, basic farm, sorry, and trading dock. So let's go. To be honest, I'm not even sure we have a lot of space for a farm, but we don't really have a choice. Yeah, this is gonna be tough in this map. So we need to cut this tree over here. So let's press, no, that was H, sorry. Let's press H, right click to stop all of this and make sure we cut this one pretty fast, pretty fast. Now we have unlocked also the trading dock, as I said. The problem is, in this map right now, I have nowhere to put it, right? Like I can't put it there in the river, it's too small. I can't really put it there either. Even if I rotate, right, it doesn't fit. So we're gonna have to wait to reach, you know, this island or that one to then put it, for example, over here. So that definitely is going to create a challenge for us, but I think we can survive. I think we will be good enough. We have also unlocked over here storage, so that is a very important one. Let's definitely build at least one to get us started over here for the wood. I'm going to place it right on it. This way what will happen is basically I'm gonna tell them to put wood into this one. So anytime there is wood, like over here we have those 2 trucks full of wood, they're going to be able to deliver it there. I can also tell them, by the way, to a limit, but for now there's no need to do this. We can see the wood has also appeared on the side, by the way, and at the top. And so this way now the wood is going to be delivered directly from this to the coal maker without having to do anything. You know, it's going to be automatic. I don't need a truck to transport. So, I mean, this is the whole concept of the game, right? We're going to want to automate as much as possible the delivery of everything. Now, we're not going to be able to do this one anytime soon because we need a trading dock, right? So let's hide it for now. We did unlock also vehicle and mining. So that's a very important one. First, I think we should be fine now for the farm. So let's go. Yes, perfect. I do want to make it as close as possible there. Perfect. To make sure my trucks can still walk there. Then let's make sure that we also put new trees to be harvested because there's none left. I want to start over here to have enough space for one more houses. But yeah, that's a good start. We're making some progress. So with this farm, we're gonna start making potatoes. In the future, we can do different foods, right? As I said, we can also start using more irrigation, fertilizer, things like this. Right now, I can't do any of it. What I can do though is show you the new building over here. We have the mine control tower, sorry, but we also have the ore sorting plant. That's gonna be very important, as I said, because more and more we're gonna get different resources into one. We did unlock also the construction, so we can build our first assembly. Now, I think we're gonna put it over here. Obviously, all of this is pretty much temporary, right? At some point, we're gonna need to make all of this way better. So I am thinking out loud, or maybe I'll put it over here. Make all of these there. So this is our first one, and you may have realized that it is a different visual from the previous updates. In this, we're going to be able to do our basic things. In particular, I want construction parts. You may have realized that every building I do, it costs some resources, and most of them will cost construction parts. Sometimes also other things. So here it is. Some trucks are starting to deliver, some iron, some wood, some bricks, and we're going to make some construction parts. I will put another storage here right away, because I want some reserves of it. So it is another completed. Why is this opening again? Sorry. Potatoes, we have 18, we did a bit more. And now we have also a maintenance depot. Yes, so this is over here. We have 0 maintenance right now. That's not good, because we're playing in ultra realism, which means if we keep it at maintenance 0 for too long, everything is gonna break down. So let's build this maintenance depot, which is going to take mechanical parts and electronics to make some maintenance. So that should start going up, which also means that some of our resources are going to start going down. In particular, the electronics and the mechanical parts. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong button that I clicked. I should click on this one over here. Perfect. So now I can see it over here. Right? It's gonna start going down. So we need to start also making some of this, which is the next one. Perfect. So let's go, pressing C to copy. Oops, that's the wrong one. C to copy. But in this case, I don't want this one, I want this one. Taking iron into mechanical parts. Okay. We have finished the potatoes too, so that's great. We have finished this one, that's great. I hope this is not going to block me, otherwise, if it does block me, I can just say skip this goal. Maybe we'll have to, maybe we just do this. Let's skip it. So this way we've unlocked some new ones now. The vehicle depot in particular, iron, beacon, a lot of different things. So let's start going. I mean, we haven't unlocked this one yet. So anyway, I do want that one too, loose storage soon, and then basic diesel. Okay, so let's also slow down a bit the time. It's been moving a bit faster now. We need a vehicle depot. Let's put it close to our base, because right now, a lot of our resources are over here. So we're gonna make a vehicle depot, and in this vehicle depot we can create new vehicles, as it says. We're gonna start with 1 excavator, 2 pickups. We could use some Unity to quick deliver everything, but again, I have some trucks, so fine for now. So this will be doing this one. In the meantime, over here, we have a new recipe. We have still the iron scrap, but we also have normal iron with coal. We'll make 24 of molten iron like before. We'll make a bit more exhaust, meaning pollution, and we'll also create slag. Slag is a bit like rocks, right? Small rocks. So we'll have put this one on. We don't have iron yet, so it's not gonna work. And by the way, you can choose which one is prioritized. Do you want to make sure you do this one first, or do you want to do this one first? Meaning, do you want to consume your scrap first or your iron ore first? In this case, I think just because the mission is to process iron ore, we're gonna keep iron ore on top. But in the future, actually, the scrap is better. I do want the beacon too, but we haven't unlocked it yet, so we need to wait for that. This is starting. We have delivered the resources, right? Vehicle parts, iron, and diesel. So it's gonna take a few, not minutes, but let's say 1 more minute maybe for the excavator to come. So in the meantime, let's start building the mine control tower over here. Not mine, mine. I know my pronunciation is not always great with my French accent, but still. So this is a very important building that will control our mining. First, we can control where to mine, right? So we can make it a big area. Then we can control, how many excavators we have there, how many trucks are assigned to it. We can decide, that we'll talk about it in the future. Sorry, it's a bit more complex. And then what I can do is pressing M is also decide where to mine. What I like to do is to mine flat first. So to start by making this flat, then we can go down. But yeah, I do prefer to just start with the flat. You can see over here that there's no color, right? Because there's nothing basically to get. Then over here, it's light yellow. That means we're gonna get a bit of things. Then here it's orange. That means we can't get there. Our excavator needs to start by taking this out before you get there. The other thing is, obviously we can look over here at the layers to see that there's no iron there. It's only soil. If I want to get iron, I need to start getting more closer over here. You have also, by the way, this thing of red and gray. So red is the iron, as you can see in the legend on the left. Gray is basically rocks. So that means the iron that is on this cell over here, it's actually not at the surface. It is a bit down, basically a couple of levels down. Versus for this one over here, you know, there's no gray. So as soon as I mine over there, I'm gonna get iron. So, you know, we want to start getting pretty soon there. We're gonna do like this. Excavator has been built. Let's put one truck on it for now. We don't need to go too fast. Oh no, it says 2, sorry. So let's do 2 just for the mission. And given that we have put in the difficulty setting the ore sorting as necessary, we do need to build it right away. Otherwise we're gonna be in trouble. So it's a completely new building, looks pretty cool. You're gonna see it in action very soon. What is also pretty cool is you can choose what things should be sorted and in what way. So let me show you. I want to definitely sort iron ore. I want to sort dirt and rocks. I don't think we're gonna get slag there. And then I can say which one will go where, right? So this one will go to exit A, sorry, over here you can see there is 4 exits. So we have A, B, C, D. So I can choose that this one goes to A. I can say this one should also go to A. And this doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest, at this point, but I could if I wanted. In this case, I'm gonna keep them in separate places, right? To make sure that we can basically split it. And then I can have a truck really take just the ore, just take the rocks. We have also over here, you know, an alarm bell that's going to basically tell me if this is full. If this is full of dirt, that's not great. So it is. I mean, actually, this has arrived, right? So it's mining the soil to make sure that the soil gets flat, right? Over here, it's basically not exactly flat. It's not a big mountain, but there is a small mountain. So it's taking some of these, right? We can see even what resources it's taking, mostly dirt right now. Putting into the truck, so we have mostly dirt, right? And then the truck is gonna come, and let's accelerate, here it is. The truck is coming here and it's sorting it. Now in this case, it wasn't very useful because there was only dirt, so that wasn't a big thing. But in the future, obviously that's gonna be a lot more important. And then we can dump, you know, the soil, the dirt over here. So yeah, we're gonna mine some iron ore, then we can process it over here, right? We have unlocked our tools and soon we're gonna unlock the beacon. But I do think this is a good end for this episode. We can do the beacon in the next episode. We have placed the basics for the city, right? We have our population. Our population has some food, which is coming from the farm. We have, you know, the basic of transformation, transforming our wood into coal. We are burning or, you know, using this coal with iron or scrap to make molten iron, and then we're transforming this iron into things like mechanical parts and also construction parts. Now we do need, you know, if we don't want to be in trouble, to do something quick, which is we're gonna need to also make electronics, because remember, we're using electronics for maintenance. So if I sort of let the game run forever right now, I will have a problem at this point. It's not like my base is completely self-sustainable, if you wish. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting there. So I hope you're excited by this new series in Paris. So obviously we haven't built Notre Dame yet. I'm not saying this, but that's the goal, you know. I think we're gonna cover some of these parts. We're gonna make some bridges. like in the real Paris, and some roads with the new surfaces, because yes, again, there is a lot of new things in this update, like surfaces, so we can make sort of basically roads. We're gonna talk about the map in the next episode, and yeah, a lot more is coming, so I hope you're excited. Please smash the like button, take 1 second. And again, if you are a YouTube member of the channel, the next episode is definitely already available, and if not, please subscribe so you never miss a new one.